Welcome to Learn English with Globallinklanguage.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Globallinklanguage. I'm Bella, and today we're diving into the art of making requests in English. Whether you're a non-native speaker looking to refine your language skills or a native speaker wanting to brush up on your communication finesse, this video is for you. First things first, let's understand what a request is. A request is a form of communication where one person asks another to do something, provide information, or take a specific action. Politeness is key when making requests in English. It not only reflects cultural norms, but also contributes to positive and respectful communication. The language used in making requests is typically polite and can vary in formality depending on the relationship between the speaker and the listener. Today, we're breaking down each context, discussing the nuances, and providing practical examples. Watch until the end because you're not just going to learn, you'll see it in action. It's not just informative, it's useful. Are you excited? I know I am. Let's explore together. Using imperative sentences. Using imperative sentences to make requests involves giving a direct command or instruction. While imperatives are often associated with giving orders, they can be softened to make polite requests. Start the imperative sentence with please to make it more polite. The structure please plus, verb plus, me plus, noun is a common way to make polite requests. Here are more examples. Please pass me the salt. Please lend me your pen for a moment. Please get me a chair from the other room. Please hand me the stapler from your desk. Using please help me with plus base verb, adding please before the imperative softens the request. Example, please help me with these documents. Please help me with fixing the leaky faucet in the kitchen. Please help me with installing the new app on my smartphone. I'm not sure how to do it. Using please give me plus noun, specify what you need politely. Example, please give me a moment of your time. Please give me a copy of the report. I need to review the findings. Please give me a hand with carrying these boxes. They're a bit heavy for me. Number 2. Using can you or could you. Can and could are both modal verbs in English, and they are often used interchangeably in making requests. However, there are subtle differences in terms of formality and politeness. Can is commonly used in informal situations and daily conversations. It's straightforward and direct. Examples: can you lend me your pen? Can you tell me the time? Can you pass me the salt? Can you pick up some groceries on your way home? Could is considered more polite and is often used in formal situations or when you want to be especially courteous. Could is also used to ask for permission. Example, could you please send me the document? Could you provide more details about the project? When is used to ask for permission. Could I use your computer for a moment? What you need to pay attention to here is could is generally considered more formal than can. It's often used in professional or business settings. When you want to add a polite touch to your request, especially in situations where formality matters, using could is a good choice. In casual or friendly conversations, the choice between can and could might not be crucial. However, in more formal or professional contexts, the use of could can enhance politeness. Can you please or could you please? Adding please to a request with can and could is a way to increase politeness and courtesy. Examples: Can you please send me the document? Could you please schedule a meeting for next week? While could you is already a polite form of making a request, adding please further softens the tone and emphasizes politeness. So, in professional or formal settings, using please with could enhances politeness. In many everyday situations, people use both forms, and the choice between them often depends on personal preference or the level of formality required in a given context. Could you please help me with my bag? Can you please pass me the menu? If you want to convey a very polite and formal tone, you might choose, could you please? However, can you please is widely accepted and polite enough for most situations. Number 3, could you possibly is another variation that adds an extra layer of politeness and a sense of uncertainty to a request. While could you and could you please are already polite forms of making requests, adding possibly introduces an element of flexibility and acknowledges the potential constraints or difficulties the other person might have in fulfilling the request. So, what nuances could you possibly have? Could you possibly enhanced politeness? Example, could you possibly send me the report by the end of the day? This form of request is especially polite and indicates that you understand there might be challenges or constraints in fulfilling the request. Flexibility and uncertainty. Example, could you possibly join the meeting tomorrow? The inclusion of possibly suggests flexibility, acknowledging that the other person's schedule might be uncertain or busy. It acknowledges the potential difficulty. Example, could you possibly spare a few minutes for a quick discussion? This form of request recognizes that the other person might be busy and may have limited time, and it enhanced politeness in formal settings. Example, could you possibly provide more details about the project? This form is often used in more formal or professional settings where a higher level of politeness is desired. But in casual conversation, could you possibly is also used to make requests in a friendly and considerate manner. It's a softer way to ask for assistance and can be suitable for various casual situations. Examples, could you possibly pick up some milk on your way home? I forgot my umbrella. Could you possibly bring it with you when you come to the cafe? Have you figured out all the nuances of could you possibly yet? Let's move on. Number 4, will you and would you? Will you? Example, will you pass me the salt, please? Will you help me carry these bags? Will you turn off the lights when you leave? Will you open the window? Would you be able to help me with this difficult task? Would you kindly pass me the menu? Would you open the window, please? In both cases, adding please at the end of the sentence enhances the politeness of the request. The choice between will and would depends on the level of formality and the specific context. Generally, both forms are acceptable in most situations. Will you is commonly used for simple and immediate requests. Would you is more appropriate in formal or professional settings. If the request may involve effort or inconvenience for the other person, would you is often a more considerate choice. And with informal, friendly requests, we have number 5, give someone a hand, and number 6, lend someone a hand, with give someone a hand. Example, can you give me a hand moving this table? This phrase is commonly used in casual settings to ask for help or assistance with a physical task. It conveys a sense of teamwork and implies that the assistance is appreciated. Additional examples: I need to rearrange my furniture. Could you give me a hand? Hey, could you give me a hand carrying these boxes? With lend someone a hand. Example: would you mind lending me a hand with these groceries? This phrase is a polite and friendly way to ask for assistance. It suggests a temporary exchange of help. It emphasizes a collaborative effort and acknowledges the other person's willingness to assist. Additional examples: I've got a lot of bags to carry. Can you lend me a hand? Can you lend me a hand moving this table? I'm struggling to finish this report. Can you lend me a hand with the data analysis? You need to take note here. Both phrases can be used interchangeably in many situations. Give someone a hand is straightforward and commonly used in everyday casual scenarios, used to ask for help or assistance with a physical task. Lend someone a hand may be perceived as slightly more formal or versatile, as it can apply to both physical and non-physical tasks. Number 7, help someone out. Example: could you help me out with this computer issue? I'm running late. Mind helping me out by grabbing a coffee for me? This phrase is versatile and can be used in various situations to request help or support. It is casual and implies a friendly and willing demeanor. Number 8, do someone a favor. Example: I forgot my lunch today. Can you do me a favor and grab something for me on your way back? Do me a favor and keep an eye on my bag while I run to the restroom, please. Could you do me a favor and water my plants while I'm away? While still informal, this phrase adds a level of formality compared to the others. It's suitable for slightly more significant requests. It recognizes that the request may involve some effort on the part of the person being asked. So, let's analyze the examples further to understand the differences in usage of the above structures. About level of formality, example 1, can you give me a hand moving this? Compared to, could you do me a favor and help me move this? Give me a hand is more casual, while do me a favor adds a bit more formality. Example 2, would you mind lending me a hand with these bags? Compared to, could you help me out with grocery shopping? Lend me a hand implies a specific and temporary task, while help me out is more general. Example 3, could you do me a favor and pick up my groceries? Compared to, can you help me out with grocery shopping? Do me a favor explicitly acknowledges the effort involved, while help me out is more general. They are simple, aren't they? Let's move on. Number 9. Can you help me with, or could you help me with, plus base verb or noun? While could you help me with may sound slightly more formal than can you help me with, it is still entirely appropriate for informal situations. The difference between could and can in this context is often subtle, and many people use them interchangeably in both formal and informal settings. Examples: in formal situations, could you help me with understanding the financial report? Could you help me with gathering information for the project? In informal situations, you might use a more casual tone. Hey, could you help me with moving the sofa to the other side of the room? Could you help me with figuring out how to use this new app? I'm a bit lost. In the examples above, you can use can instead of could. In everyday conversation, many people use can you and could you interchangeably when making requests. The choice between them often depends on personal preference, regional language norms, or the specific tone you want to convey. Both versions are considered polite and appropriate in these contexts. Still with can and could, we have the following structure, number 10. Can you assist me in, or could you assist me in plus base verb or noun? They are more formal and are particularly suitable for professional and business contexts. Could you assist me in analyzing the data for the project? Can you assist me in drafting the proposal for the client? Number 11, would you mind plus gerund, or do you mind plus gerund, would you mind, and do you mind, followed by a gerund, are both polite ways to make requests or ask for permission in English. Let's explore the details of each. Would you mind, pals being, example, would you mind helping me with this task? Would you mind is a polite and formal way to make a request. It is often used in situations where a higher level of politeness is desired. Do you mind plus being, example, do you mind waiting for a moment? Usage. Do you mind is another polite way to make requests, and it is commonly used in both formal and informal settings. Example. Would you mind helping me with the project this afternoon? Compare to, do you mind making a copy of this document? Would you mind is considered slightly more formal and is often used in professional or business settings. Do you mind is versatile and can be used in both formal and casual situations. Would you mind may be perceived as expressing a slightly higher level of courtesy and formality. Would you mind is often used for more significant requests or those that may require more effort. Do you mind can be used for everyday or routine requests. Both phrases are inherently polite, but adding please at the end of the sentence can enhance politeness further. More examples. Plus, do you mind turning down the volume a bit, please? Plus, would you mind sharing your thoughts on this proposal, please? Your input is valuable. Number 12, do you think you could or do you think you can, the phrases do you think you could and do you think you can are similar, but there is a subtle difference in their implications. Example, do you think you could help me with this task? This structure is often chosen for its politeness and consideration. It implies that you are aware the request may require effort or flexibility from the other person. The use of could can convey a sense of modesty or humility, recognizing that the person may have other commitments or considerations. It is generally more formal and is commonly used in professional or business settings. Do you think you can... Example, do you think you can finish this report by the end of the day? This structure is more direct and straightforward. It directly asks about the person's capability to complete a task without placing as much emphasis on potential effort or inconvenience. It is versatile and can be used in various contexts, both formal and informal. It is suitable for everyday requests and may sound slightly less formal than, do you think you could... While they convey a similar request, the choice between them often depends on the tone you want to convey and the specific context. In many cases, they can be used interchangeably, especially in casual conversations. Examples. Do you think you could grab me a coffee on your way back? I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with work. Do you think you could lend me a hand? I'm thinking of redecorating my room. Do you think you can give me some ideas? However, if you want to emphasize politeness or a potential challenge, do you think you could might be the slightly more appropriate choice. I'd appreciate it if is a contraction of I would appreciate it if. This phrase is a polite way to make a request while expressing gratitude in advance. It acknowledges the other person's potential effort or time. It conveys consideration for the other person's willingness to assist. The use of I'd, short for I would, adds a softer, more courteous tone. Examples. I'd appreciate it if you could help me with this task. I'd appreciate it if you could join us for the team meeting. Number 14. Would it be possible to plus verb infinitive? And is it possible to plus verb infinitive? Use would it be possible to plus verb infinitive when you want to convey a higher level of formality and politeness. It's ideal for situations where respect and courtesy are emphasized. Use is it possible to plus verb infinitive when you want to be direct but still maintain a reasonable level of formality. It's suitable for various contexts, including both professional and informal settings. Examples: would it be possible to schedule a meeting to discuss the upcoming changes? Would it be possible to borrow your car for a couple of hours? Mine's in the shop. Is it possible to reschedule the appointment for later in the day? Is it possible to meet up for coffee sometime this week? I'd love to catch up. Hey guys, we've covered almost all the ways to suggest in English, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the last one. Number 15. I was wondering if you could plus verb infinitive. Examples: I was wondering if you could provide me with some feedback on my presentation. I was wondering if you could share your insights on the current market trends. The structure: I was wondering if you could plus verb infinitive is a courteous and indirect way to make a request. It's effective in situations where a more formal or considerate tone is desired. The use of I was wondering adds a touch of politeness and frames the request as a thoughtful inquiry, emphasizing that you've been contemplating the request. Choosing this structure can help convey your request in a manner that is respectful and mindful of the other person's time and willingness to assist. Dear friends, we have learned 15 ways to make requests that can be used flexibly in different contexts. Additionally, you know that how to respond also depends on the person you're responding to and the context, including demonstrating your willingness or ability to comply with the request. Let's explore all the nooks and crannies together in the next part. We guarantee that you will find it extremely interesting. Ways to accept requests are divided into the following groups. Affirmative responses. These responses indicate a positive and willing acknowledgement of the request. Sure, certainly, of course, absolutely, definitely. Example: could you pass me the stapler, please? Sure, here you go. When giving something to someone in response to their request, the common and polite phrases are here you go, or here you are. These expressions are used to hand over an item or provide something that the other person has asked for. Could you pass me the document, please? Certainly, here you are. Would you mind grabbing me a coffee? Sure or definitely. Adding yes before expressions to enhance the affirmative tone of the response. It reinforces the positive acknowledgement of the request and indicates a willingness or agreement to fulfill it. Yes, sure. Yes, definitely. Yes, of course. Can you provide feedback on this proposal? Yes, sure. I'll take a look. Conditional affirmative responses. These responses express willingness with a condition or clarification. I can, but I'd be happy to, as long as, certainly once I finish, sure, after I complete. Example: can you finish this by tomorrow? I can, but I might need a bit more time. Would you mind helping me move this furniture? I can, but let's do it after lunch. Can you review this document? Certainly, once I finish my current task. Would you mind sharing your thoughts on this topic? Sure, after I complete my research on it. Expressing willingness. These responses directly convey a positive attitude toward the request. I'd be happy to. I'd love to. I'm glad to help. I'm more than willing to assist. Example: could you help me with this project? I'd be happy to assist. Can you provide guidance on this project? I'd be happy to help. Would you mind helping me set up for the event? I'm more than willing to assist with the setup. Confirming understanding. These responses confirm that the request has been understood. I understand. Got it. I see what you need. I'm clear on that. Example: can you follow up with the client? Got it. I'll handle the follow-up. Could you send me the details for the upcoming meeting? Got it. I'll forward you the meeting details shortly. Could you clarify the requirements? I see what you need. I'll get more details. Offering alternatives. Sometimes, instead of a direct agreement, you might offer an alternative. I can't do that, but I can help with. I'm unable to, but I can assist in. I have another commitment, but I can do. I'm busy then, but I can manage. Example: can you attend the morning meeting? I can't do that, but I can help with the preparation. Could you join the conference call at 2 p.m.? I have another commitment, but I can join after 2:30 p.m. Declining a request can be done in a polite and respectful manner. Here are various ways to decline a request. Expressing regret. Communicating that you are genuinely sorry you can't fulfill the request. I'm afraid. This phrase is often used to express regret or to convey that something is not possible or cannot be done. I'm afraid I won't be able to. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid that's beyond my current capacity. I'm sorry, but. This structure combines an apology with the explanation of the inability to fulfill the request. I'm sorry, but I have another commitment at that time. I'm sorry, but I can't do that right now. I'm sorry, but I can't take on any additional tasks right now. Unfortunately, I won't be able to help. Example: unfortunately, I won't be able to attend the meeting tomorrow. I appreciate the ask, but Example: I appreciate the ask, but I have prior commitments that day. Offering an alternative. Suggesting an alternative solution or assistance. I'm unable to, but I can assist in. Example: I'm unable to attend the full event, but I can assist in the preparations. I have another commitment, but I can do. Example: I have another commitment in the morning, but I can join the meeting after 11 a.m. I appreciate the ask, but I can help with. Example: I appreciate the ask, but I can help with the research part of the project. Expressing gratitude. Thanking the person for considering you, but explaining your limitations. Thanks for thinking of me, I'm currently occupied. Example: thanks for thinking of me, however, I'm currently occupied with another project. I appreciate the opportunity, but unfortunately. Example: I appreciate the opportunity, but unfortunately, I won't be able to take on additional responsibilities. Providing a clear explanation, explaining the reason behind your inability to fulfill the request. I'm currently swamped with deadlines. Example: I'm currently swamped with deadlines, so I won't be able to assist right now. Due to a prior commitment, I won't be available. Example: due to a prior commitment, I won't be available for the team building event. Expressing limitations. Clearly stating your current workload or personal limitations. My schedule is quite tight right now. Example: my schedule is quite tight right now, so I won't be able to commit to this. I'm currently focusing on other priorities. Example, I'm currently focusing on other priorities and I won't be able to take on additional tasks. Hey friend, above are all the ways to accept and politely decline when you are requested to do something by someone. When declining a request, it's important to be polite, express regret, and offer a clear explanation if possible. Offering an alternative solution or expressing gratitude for the request can soften the decline. Being honest about your limitations and providing a clear explanation can help the requester understand your situation. Dear friend, today has been an enriching lesson, and we've delved into the intricacies of making requests, understanding how to respond, and politely refusing requests. I hope you found the content insightful and practical. Now, to solidify what we've learned, let's transition to some practice exercises. These exercises will be based on real-life scenarios and the topics we've covered today. By applying these concepts in a story context, you'll have the opportunity to master the material in a natural and effortless way. Before we wrap up, I'm eager to hear your thoughts. How did you find the content of today's lesson? Was it clear and did the examples resonate with your experiences? Your feedback is invaluable in shaping future lessons. Please take a moment to leave your comments below. Your input will guide us in making more appropriate adjustments for the next set of videos. We're committed to providing content that is not only informative, but also tailored to your learning needs. Thank you for joining us today. I look forward to reading your comments and seeing you in the next lesson. Happy practicing!